Good afternoon, dear students. Now, today I start the first lecture of the strength of material. Okay, this subject is very important for competitive exam point of view, and it has this subject has a lot of numericals type problems. And this is the first lecture, so I will discuss something related to basics of the strength of material. Okay, so start from the basic mechanical properties. So the first slide, important mechanical properties. So there are some important mechanical properties that you must to learn. So number one is the elasticity. Second is the plasticity. Now ductility, brittleness, malleability, toughness, hardness, and strength. These are the 8 mechanical properties that is very important. Okay, as a mechanical engineer, you must learn about these properties. What is these properties? How to measure these properties is necessary to know. What are the methods to measure the hardness? What are the methods to measure the brittleness? How to measure the ductility? How to measure the toughness? How to measure the elasticity, plasticity? These are the very basics of the strength of material subject. Okay, so initially, I will discuss only that's definitions that you have already read in last classes. So first is the elasticity. You all know what is the elasticity. So elasticity is the property by virtue of which the material deformed under load. So when we apply the load over the body, okay, if the body is not the rigid, if the body is not rigid and you apply the load over the body is start to deform. But in the elastic range, so elasticity is the property by virtue of which when you remove the load, the body regain its initial position. So it will came in initial position when you remove the load, and that property is known as the elasticity. You all know. Okay. So suppose this is the body and you apply the load P over this body and it has the length L. So when you apply the load, what happened? Its length will increase. Its length will increase. Okay. But when you remove the load, this deformation is disappear if the material have the elastic property. If it is not so, the material will not came in its initial position. And why it is happening? Because of that, all body have the small molecules or the atoms, and these atoms binded each other by a intermolecular force. So when one atom move far from the other atom, a repulsive force between the molecules will start to act and it will oppose the deformation. If you are in elastic range and if you remove the load, then this opposite force will try to make the atoms in initial position. Okay, so this property of the material is known as the elasticity. Second is the plasticity. So just reverse of the elasticity is the plasticity. Okay, plasticity is the converse of elasticity. A material in plastic state is permanently deformed by application of load and it has no tendency to recover. So suppose if I am applying the load over the body and body is start to deform, but I am continuously increasing the load. I am not removing the load, but I will continuously increasing the load. Then what happened? After a certain limit, the molecules are so far that they will not attract to each other. And I will again increase the load. Then the material is plastic limit. crossed the elastic limit and reached in the plastic regions. If I am again removing the load, the material will not come in its initial position, and that is the known as the plastic region, and that property of the material is known as the plasticity. Next important property is the ductility. So ductility, it permits the material to be drawn out longitudinally to reduce the section under the action of tensile force. The ductility is the property of material by virtue of which it can be drawn into this small wire form. Wire की form में convert करने के लिए जो property चाहिए, that property is known as ductility. तो आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, you have seen there are small, very small diameters wires. So if the material is ductile, then you can convert it into the small wires form. But if the material is not ductile, like the ceramic materials, like chalk, like cast iron, the brittle material, these cannot be drawn in the form of a small wire. Why? Because of that, when you apply the load, they cannot sustain the deformations. They breaks. Okay, but the ductile materials have the very huge amount of longitudinal deformations. Okay, so in ductile material, therefore, large deformation is possible before absolute failure or rupture takes place. So before failure, they have large deformations. Okay, so what is the brittleness? Brittleness is nothing but it is just reverse of the ductility. So if the material is converted into the form of wire, then we can say it is a ductile material. But if it is not converted into the form of wire, we can say it is a brittle material or some other form of material. Brittleness implies lack of ductility. So if the material have the high brittleness, it has lack of ductility, it has no ductility. The material is said to be brittle when it cannot be drawn out by tension to smaller section. In brittle material, failure takes place under the load without significant deformation. So when we apply the load, the brittle material will not show any deformation. They will suddenly breaks, they will suddenly rupture, and they will suddenly failure. तो कभी कभार पूछ लिया जाता है कि कौन से मटेरियल ब्रिटल मटेरियल है, तो एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे आपको याद करके रखना है इंजीनियरिंग में, कास्ट आयरन आपका ब्रिटल मटेरियल है, हाई कार्बन स्टील, अगर कार्बन परसेंटेज स्टील में बढ़ती है, देन इट विल increase the brittleness and reduce the ductility. So we can say the low carbon steel material have the higher ductility than the high carbon steel. Now concrete and ceramics, these all are the brittle material. Malleability, next property. Malleability is the property of material which permits the material to be extended in all directions without fracture. Malleability is the property of material which permit the material to be extended in all the directions without fracture. A malleable material possesses high degree of plasticity. This property utilized in many operations such as forging, hot rolling and drop stamping. ये operations आप अभी पढ़ेंगे सेकेंड ईयर में प्रोडक्शन में. तो अगर आपने किसी बॉडी के ऊपर कंप्रेसिव लोड अप्लाई किया, लाइक इन ए forging, then the material will be deformed in the all the directions. Like थिन सीट्स में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए अगर किसी मटेरियल पर आप फोर्स लगाते हैं कंप्रेसिव, तो वो थिन सीट्स के फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, एंड दैट इज due to it has the property of malleability. The material is malleable, then it will be converted to the form of thin sheets. Like in the form of ductile material will convert into the form of wire if it has the ductility. Same, the material can be converted to the thin sheets when it has the malleability. So if we apply the compressive load, so malleability is related to the compressive load. Next property is the very important property, toughness. Toughness is the property of material which enables it to absorb energy without fracture. So up to the fracture, before failure takes place in the material, when we apply the load, the material will continuously deform. After the certain time, when we continuously increasing the load, a certain limit came and material will be fractured. So up to the fracture, how much energy it will absorb, that is known as the toughness. Okay, this property is very desirable in components subject to cyclic or shock loading. Okay, Toughness is measured in a term of energy required per unit volume of material to cause the rupture under the action of gradually increasing tensile load. Okay. So hardness is the ability of material to resist indentation or surface abrasion. Test on hardness may be classified into scratch test or indentation test. So hardness, it is very difficult to measure the hardness. Okay, so how to measure? It will be measured in the form of either in the form of scratch or indentation. So hardness is nothing but it is the surface property. So if the surface is very hard, then it will resist the indentation. It has the high wear properties. Okay, so hardness is measured by either by स्क्रैच टेस्ट और इंडेंटेशन टेस्ट. ये हम सब आगे पढ़ेंगे. अभी सिंपल डेफिनेशन देखते हैं. नाउ द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल enables to resist the fracture under the load. Okay, if the material have the high strength, okay, the fracture will not be occur. But if the material have the low strength, the fracture will be sudden occur. The load required to cause the fracture divided by area of the test experiment is termed ultimate tensile strength. तो आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा SUT, S/T. तो SUT आपका क्या होता है? SUT ultimate tensile strength. एक टर्म पढ़ेंगे आप डिजाइन में, yield strength. ठीक है, ये दो टर्म है. तो अल्टीमेट टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ क्या है? अप टू द फ्रैक्चर हाउ मच मैक्सिमम एनर्जी इट विल एब्जॉर्ब. तो वही कह रहा था, लोड रिक्वायर्ड टू कॉज द फ्रैक्चर डिवाइड बाय एरिया टेस्ट एक्सपेरिमेंट इज टर्म एज अल्टीमेट टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ. जब तक फ्रैक्चर नहीं हो गया, फ्रैक्चर के समय तक जो एरिया उसका आया, अगर लोड से डिवाइड कर दें तो वो SUT होगा. अब देखते हैं सिंपल स्ट्रेस क्या है. सिंपली हम सोम के अंदर स्ट्रेस, स्ट्रेन, ये सब चीजें पढ़ेंगे. तो स्ट्रेस इज रेजिस्टेंस ऑफर्ड बाय बॉडी टू द डिफॉर्मेशन. अगर मैं किसी बॉडी को पे फोर्स अप्लाई करना स्टार्ट करता हूँ, इट विल स्टार्ट टू डिफॉर्म. If it will start to deform, there's some resistance generated inside the body and it will oppose the deformation. Okay, so that resistance per unit area is known as the stress. तो मटेरियल पे जैसे ही आप लोड अप्लाई करेंगे, मटेरियल के अंदर एक स्ट्रेस डेवलप हो जाएगी, and that is nothing but it is the stress is the load per unit area known as the stress. Load divided by area. As per the Sand-Beckett theory, the stress distribution except in the region of extreme end of the bar carrying direct loading, the stress distribution over the cross section is uniform. तो ये थ्योरी ये कहती है कि जैसे कोई ये यूनिफॉर्म बॉडी है जिसकी विड्थ b है, और अगर मैंने इस पे कोई लोड p अप्लाई किया, तो इसकी एंड्स की कुछ डिस्टेंस छोड़ दी जाए यहाँ से यहाँ तक, अगर हम यहाँ से और यहाँ तक की कुछ डिस्टेंस छोड़ दें जहाँ पे स्ट्रेस नॉन यूनिफॉर्म रहेगी, लगभग में वो होती है 1.5 b के बराबर इस एंड से और 1.5 b इस एंड से. तो जो ये बची डिस्टेंस है यहाँ पे, द स्ट्रेसेस विल ऑलवेज यूनिफॉर्म. ओके, तो काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रेसेस, तो नॉर्मल स्ट्रेसेस में दो तरह की स्ट्रेसेस आप पढ़ेंगे, टेंसाइल स्ट्रेस, कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेस. उसके बाद आप पढ़ेंगे शियर स्ट्रेस, बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस, टॉर्जनल शियर स्ट्रेस और बियरिंग स्ट्रेस. ये स्ट्रेसेस हैं जिन्हें आप में आप डील करेंगे. तो नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस क्या है? सपोज दिस इज द कंपोनेंट, ओके, AB, and this is the MN section. If we apply the compressive load, the resistance is just opposite. The resistance generated inside the body is just opposite to these forces. Then normal stress sigma n is equal to the resistance normal to this cross section Mn is equal to P divided by area A. But this is opposite, so this is a minus sign. This is known as the compressive stress. If we apply the load tensile, then what happened? If we apply the load, the length of the bar will increasing, so the normal stress is positive, P divided by A. When we apply the compressive load, the bar is shortened, so normal stress is compressive. When a body is stretched by force P, the resulting stress are tensile stress. The force are reversed in direction, causing the body to be compressed. We obtain the compressive stress. Shear stress. Shear stress is one which acts parallel or tangential to the surface. Suppose this is the surface. Okay, A, B, C, D. This is the body. If we apply the shear force B, what happened? B reaches to B dash and C reaches to C dash, and there is some twist occur, phi. Okay, so shear force is B, and the area of this plane at which the shear force is acting is A. Then the shear stress tau is equal to V by A Newton per mm square, and the shear strength is nothing but it is measured by change in angle. The angle is very small, so tan phi is equal to dV dash divided by AB. Okay, strain देख लेते हैं क्या है. The deformation per unit length is known as the strain. It has no unit. Strain क्या है? Epsilon is equal to change in length divided by initial length. So the unit is no unit. It has no unit. How much length is changed divided by original length. For example, if there is a component, I apply the 3 kilonewton load over the component, and the change in length is 1 millimeter, and the total length is 10 mm. Then strain is equal to 1 divided by 10, 0.1. It has the no unit. एक न्यूमेरिकल देख लेते हैं. A prismatic bar has the cross section of 25 into 50. एरिया इसका कितना हो गया? 25 into 50 मिलीमीटर स्क्वायर. लेंथ 2000 mm. अंडर द एक्सियल लोड कितना लगा है? 90 10 to power 3 न्यूटन. द मेजर्ड elongation 1.5 mm. strain in the bar. स्ट्रेन बार में कितना होगा और स्ट्रेस कितनी होगी? तो स्ट्रेस निकालना है. नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस है ये P डिवाइड बाई एरिया. P कितना है? 90 इंटू 10 पावर 3 डिवाइड बाई एरिया 25 इंटू 50. तो सिग्मा n हो गया 72 मेगा पास्कल. ठीक है. अब स्ट्रेन क्या है? डेल्टा एल डिवाइड बाई एल. 1.5 डिवाइड बाई लेंथ है ओरिजिनल 2000, तो एप्सिलॉन कितना आ जाएगा? 1.5 डिवाइड बाई 2000. स्ट्रेन आया इसके अंदर 7.5 इंटू 10⁻⁴. तो ये सिंपल डेफिनेशंस थी. ओके, इस सब्जेक्ट का इंट्रोडक्शन कराने के लिए, तो वो आप देख लें, समझ लें. इसके बाद नेक्स्ट जो लेक्चर होगा उसमें थोड़े न्यूमेरिकल्स और कुछ अलग टॉपिक्स आएंगे. ठीक है ना. तो थैंक यू.